I'm on the wrong day. February 17th, 2026, Ogden City Council meeting. Let the record reflect that all council members are present today. And we will start our meeting with our opening ceremony, which will be the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Vice Chair Graham.
Please rise and join me. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
I can't hear you back here.
Oh, that's because my mic wasn't on. Sorry. Beg your pardon. Okay. Hear me now?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. All right. Now, if you wouldn't mind, just join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. And are there any acknowledgements that council members would like to make? Okay. The next item on our agenda is a recognition of Janine Eller-Smith. And I see that she is here. I'm just kind of curious, how have your family all raised their hand? I'd like to see how many you got with you. So great. Right. It is really good to have you guys here. We've had your mom, grandma, whatever she is to you for a while, and we've grown to really appreciate her and love her. So I'm glad you're all here to celebrate this with her. So I would like to start first and read this Compass Award. This is an award that the council kind of came up with a year or a little more ago, maybe. It's kind of our big deal. It's kind of we haven't given it out too liberally, so we're kind of careful about who we give it to. And I think, Janine, you were the third recipient of the Compass Award. And this is proudly presented to Janine Eller-Smith on February 17th, 2026. And it says, over 30 years with Ogden City, including the last 16 in the council office, Janine Eller-Smith has made a lasting impact through her leadership, professionalism, and dedication to public service. During her time in the council office, Janine served as a policy analyst, deputy director, and most recently, the executive director. As executive director, Janine led the council office through major milestones. She launched the audit committee, fraud hotline, 5-year strategic plan, youth council, neighbor up grants, sustainability committee, the CEOC renewal, the Compass Award, and more. She also strengthened sister city ties with Hof, Germany, overseeing the Hof Rathaus Cottage at Christmas Village, and hosting visiting delegations. Janine guided the council through the COVID-19 response and transition to virtual meetings, third floor upgrades, elections, and leadership transitions. Her contribution will benefit Ogden for years to come. So we do really appreciate, you can tell she's done a whole lot. So Janine, why don't you come on up and accept this award. Okay, we've got this cool thing. We've got to show it off. Okay. Right? Okay. It had to go in that way. Yeah. So I'm trying not to do the fingerprint thing, but you want to hold it and get your picture taken with it?
Fingerprints all over it. Yeah.
Kiss it right here.
Like the Lombardi.
Yeah, bring your fam over.
get in the next one.
Now we know why you wanted to retire.
Yeah.
I'm behind Sean, he's tall, I'm behind him.
You were just.
Involved in the family.
All right, everybody looking here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Say one more extra. Sorry.
Want to sit here in the chair?
Yeah, no, you're good. I know, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much.
Congratulations. Don't go too far away.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the fun. Thank you.
Congrats.
Way down the line.
Okay, you got to stand up here and look like you're on the spot.
Okay.
But I'm going to turn some time to Mara at this point. Oh, and here's your box.
Oh.
You got it?
Thank you. Great. Okay, thank you. Well, it is truly my honor on behalf of Mayor Ben Nadolski and Ogden City Administration to read this proclamation honoring Janine Eller Smith for her distinguished public service to Ogden City. Whereas Janine Eller Smith devoted nearly 3 decades of exemplary service to Ogden City, beginning her career in 1996 in the Fleet and Facilities Department and later serving with distinction as a policy analyst, deputy director, and ultimately as executive director of the Ogden City Council. And whereas Janine Eller Smith is a graduate of Brigham Young University and holds both a Master of Public Administration and a Juris Doctor, credentials complemented by deep institutional knowledge, sound judgment, and an unwavering commitment to ethical public service. And throughout her tenure, Janine Eller Smith championed initiatives that strengthened civic engagement, transparency, and long-term governance, including the Neighbor Up Grants Program, the Youth Council, the Sustainability Committee, Sister City Partnerships, the Compass Award, the renewal of the Community Engagement and Opportunity Commission, and the city's 5-year strategic plan. And whereas Janine Eller Smith provided steady leadership through multiple elections, mayoral administrations, and city council compositions, guiding the modernization of council operations and leaving a lasting imprint on how Ogden governs itself. And whereas, often working beyond public view, Janine Eller Smith served as a trusted, nonpartisan professional who navigated the natural tensions inherent in our form of government, ensuring council members were provided with accurate, timely, and reliable information necessary to make sound decisions on behalf of the residents of Ogden. And whereas grounded in principle rather than politics, Janine Eller Smith faithfully represented the interests of the City Council and therefore the people of Ogden, demonstrating collaboration when possible and firmness and resolve when required, providing an essential check and balance within the city's system of governance. And whereas in an era when public discourse too often gives way to division, Janine Eller Smith exemplified principled public service that was thoughtful, fair, steady, and deeply committed to the community she served. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the City of Ogden hereby honors and thanks Janine Eller Smith for her extraordinary dedication, integrity, and lasting contributions to the governance and civic life of Ogden City. And be it further proclaimed that on behalf of the entire City of Ogden and its residents, Janine Eller Smith is hereby presented with the key to the city in recognition of her remarkable public service and enduring legacy. Signed this day by Benjamin K. Nadolski, Ogden City Mayor. Thank you so much, Janine. I'll have a badge for you. I'll come around with that. Thanks, Amanda.
Okay. Now it's your turn for a minute.
My turn?
Yeah.
I hardly know what to say. I mean, I know I didn't deserve the Compass Award, and I'm pretty sure I didn't deserve the Key to the City, but thank you. I was thinking today about, I won't go into the whole story, but as I was finishing up my undergraduate, one of the professors in the program also taught in public administration. And I had no idea that that job existed. And it just literally just one of those light bulb moments. It's like, that's what I need to do. But I'd also committed to go to law school to my mom. And so, so that's why I did a joint degree. And I did actually work as a prosecutor for 4 years, but my heart was really in public service for a city. And so I'm really glad to have the opportunity to serve Ogden City. The job came to me at a really tough time in my life, and it served, set a really great foundation for me. And I'm grateful if all these things are true that you've said, that I have made an impact. Sometimes you wonder if that's what, if you have made a difference. So hopefully I have in a little bit. I will say my proudest thing of Ogden City is that I've hired all of the council staff, and you have a tremendous staff. And I'm sure that you new council members will get to know them, how tremendous they are. And that's what I'm most proud of right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Janine. So, Brandon, do we have some electronic stuff, right? Just the one. Yeah. Just the one? Okay. Well, why don't we start with that?
Hello everyone. I'm so excited I'm able to send this video to congratulate Janine on her retirement and on these wonderful recognitions from the Council and Administration of Ogden City. I'm Angela Chuburka, and I worked with Janine over the past 8 years in my role as a council member. And Janine is just such a wonderful supporter of ensuring that the council has the support it needs so it's successful, and also just a really wonderful person. So I just want to thank you so much, Janine, for your service to the city and to Ogden overall, our community members. Thanks so much for your support when I was on council, and I hope you have a wonderful retirement.
Okay, and we have former council member White here. I assume you'd like to say a thing or two?
So, Janine, thank you. I would have, I told them I was going to be late to my meeting, so I felt really like I needed to say thank you for all your mentorship, all your guidance. 12 years, you were able to get me in a really great direction and show us how to do this place better than we left it. So thank you for all your guidance and mentorship, and happy quilting.
All right, thanks, former council member White. Well, I'm going to take another minute, and you know what? That was one thing I was going to tell you, Janine. That is the sign of a good leader is how well they train their replacement. You know, making sure that they don't create a vacuum when they leave, and you've done a really good job. I got to say, I love our staff. I think they're all top-notch folks, and that is a credit to your leadership. So thank you so much for that. Another thing I thought was very noteworthy about Janine, and she probably won't go around telling you this, but in as much as she is an attorney, she was also awarded the honor to be able to argue before the Supreme Court of the United States. And that was a pretty cool thing. When we saw the photo of her next to Justice Ginsburg when she went to receive that honor, that was kind of cool. So, you know, she's not just your average city worker. She's somebody special. So We will miss you, and I also wish you the best with your quilting and embroidery and all of those things. So thank you so much for your service to Ogden and to us individually. Any other council members have thoughts?
Yeah, I'll jump in here. I only got 4 years with Janine, but I think really what's most remarkable about Janine is her ability to really understand the issues that we're facing Ogden. And as a new council member, oftentimes I had questions, and I always knew that she could really help me understand. There's not just one side or another side. There are many nuances to most issues that face Ogden. It's not, two different versions, but she had a good way of helping me see, what am I missing, and she also did it in a way that wasn't like, I think in the Key to the City it talked about the nonpartisanship, and I think that was just phenomenal. She just really was able to lay out the facts of an issue and help me determine it that way. And then as a person, just I can't think of anybody kinder, and just more willing to see us as council members succeed in whatever it is we were trying to do. And she made a point early on and I think it was early on, to say she would never say no, but she would always try to come up, no, it wasn't a no, but it was a no, but here's maybe another path or another way you could accomplish what you're hoping to do. So kudos to you, and again, I hope you have a great retirement and enjoy everything that you're able to do now. Thanks.
Anyone else?
Well, Janine, I just want to express thanks personally from myself. I came on the council 2 years ago, and I was surprised with this infrastructure behind the city council. I just did not know that existed, and I appreciated the support and the training and the preparation and the dialogue and the back scene effort that was done, particularly with things like the budget, that helped to make things more understandable for me, which I enjoyed a lot, and I appreciated the insight and wisdom that you shared with us there. That's something that wasn't mentioned anywhere in any of all of your kudos, was the effort that you put into the budget and the understanding that you shared with us to be able to grasp things a little bit easier. So I just want to say thanks to you for your personal interest, your extra time and effort, and your mentorship in how you guided us along through that period of time. And I also wish you a great retirement. Hope you enjoyed being around all those grandkiddos. Thanks.
Thanks, Janine. I, too, am just 2 years into this role, and the council office is a busy place, and I would just take it upon myself to walk into the office with questions, and regardless of how busy or stressed out the situation might be, Janine's door was always open, the chair was always offered, and she had time without anxiety about other things to do to share with me, and I really appreciated that, especially as a new council member. And I brought some ideas forward, and like Ken mentioned, I was gently shown some alternative thinking about how I might approach one thing or another without bias, and always supportive, and I really appreciated that. Thank you.
Well, Janine, I wish you many years of prosperity and vigorous activities and good health for years to come. So thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been an honor to serve the city.
Well, that seems like it's not enough still. It just seems like we ought to do some more somehow. But
It's a little anticlimactic.
a little bit.
So thank you.
Yep. Well, I don't know. Maybe our staff wants to say a little something. I mean, they all worked with her too, so.
Yeah, I'll just be quick. I mean, when we talked in December, when I was confirmed, Janine, she said essentially I wouldn't be here without her, and that's 100% true. I would not be here without her, and I say that not only in getting the job initially 15 years ago, but being where I am today. I absolutely would not be here today if it weren't for her and her leadership and mentorship. So very much appreciated. Thank you for everything you did. Yeah, it was special.
The rest of you have an opportunity if you want to take it. Steve?
I don't get very many opportunities at all to talk up here. So, yeah, I have learned a ton from Janine, and she's a very important mentor. And I just appreciate all the knowledge that she shared. And there's a ton of it to share. So I'm just grateful to have gotten to work with her for a few years.
It looks like you're trying to get the mic to work.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard you.
Are you okay if I give my remarks from here? Is that okay?
Sure,
All
it's
right.
okay with me.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been here almost 8 years. Where is she? Where did she go? Found her. Okay. And learned a lot about introverts thanks to Janine and a lot of the other council staff as well, being an extrovert myself. And one thing that's always surprising, not always surprising, but one thing that was surprising about Janine is just how quick-witted she was and hilarious, a terrific sense of humor that you just wouldn't assume off the bat, but is really a very, very hilarious person that knows how to ease the tension in a room if need be, and just keep smiles on our faces as well, and come in to work with a smile on our face as well to try to keep our spirits up when things are a little chaotic or whatnot. And I'm grateful for both her and Glenn for taking a chance on me those years ago, and I'm grateful to be in this position and wouldn't be here without her, or Glenn for that matter too. So thank you.
I'll be quick because I'm also an introvert like Janine, but I'm just grateful for the opportunity I had to work with you, Janine. You taught me so much, and I think one of the things we'll all miss is your laugh. And just thank you for everything, and I wish you well in your retirement.
Okay, well, I think that's really all there is now, Janine. Yeah, let's give her another round. Yep, you're going to go down in history. All right. Well, thanks, Janine.
Thank you.
The next item on our agenda is the approval of minutes. The first meeting is the special meeting of December 9th. Councilmember Myers.
Mr. Chair, I've reviewed the minutes of December 9th, 2025, and find them to be accurate.
And of the joint work session of December 9th and work session and regular meeting of December 16th, 2025. Councilmember Ritchie.
Yes, Chair, reviewed all of those minutes and all of those discussion items and found those to be accurate to my memory.
And finally, the work session and regular meeting of January 6th, 2026. Councilmember Lundell, this is your inaugural one, isn't it?
All right. Yes, I have reviewed the work session and regular meeting minutes of January 6th, 2026, and find them to be accurate.
Okay, typically, just so you know, the guy that does the last minutes approves, makes the motion that they get approved.
Motion that the minutes be approved.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Lundell, seconded by Councilmember Ritchie to approve the minutes. This is a voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Okay, they will stand approved. Next item is the reports from the Planning Commission concerning the 1425 Kingston Drive rezone. We have Barton Brierley here to make a presentation. And I think the petitioner, Gary Cannon, is here, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Barton, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, Chair Heyer and City Councilors. This is a request to change the zoning of a piece of property at 1425 Kingston Drive from R110, which is a single-family residential zone with a 10,000 square foot minimum lot size, to R18, which would also be a single-family residential zone, but with an 8,000 square foot minimum lot size. The property is on Kingston Drive, highlighted in the picture that you can see. And this is just an up close picture of the county plat of those parcels. This property was the site of a former church. It's been torn down. The church actually occupied all those properties you see in orange. And with that, the church has sold the property and the petitioners are buying it. And you can see the zone boundary splits through the former church's properties. So on the north, it's R110, and on the south is R18. And we actually, when this went on the market, we talked with several people about possibilities for developing it, and having the zone boundary go through the property was kind of a difficult thing to plan it as one site. And the petitioners have proposed that we make all the properties into R18 so that they can do a single-family residential subdivision on the property. Looking at some of the vision objectives, it is in the Mount Ogden community, and one of those objectives is to support and preserve the existing single-family nature of the area through maintaining single-family zoning classifications. So their proposal is keeping in with this classification, just a slightly lower minimum lot size. This is a concept of what they think they would do with it. This isn't a proposal for a subdivision. It could change, but they have worked with staff, and this is an idea of what they could do with the property. And you can see the several lots are actually above the 10,000 square foot minimum lot size, but just trying to fit all the lots with a little cul-de-sac street and have them all meet the 10,000 square foot lot size just didn't quite work out with it. So that's why they're proposing to make the entire property the R18 zone. So the differences are the minimum lot size. There's a difference in minimum lot width, which comes into effect on some of those larger lots, even though they may be larger. Allowing this narrower lot width actually helps lay out. The setbacks are slightly smaller for the R18 zone, but the side and front and rear setbacks are the same. So the Planning Commission has reviewed this, and they recommend unanimously that you approve the zone change. So staff also recommends that you approve the zone change.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions for Barton?
Yes, just a clarification of the petitioners, their names.
Gary Cannon is a petitioner, and Rick Southwick is a co-partner with Gary Cannon.
And Mr. Southwick is on the Planning Commission, correct?
Yes, he is, and he did not participate in the discussion or the decision for this.
So if this rezone is passed, then it moves into the next phase, that it goes over to the Planning Commission, which Mr. Southwick sits on, that he would be determining what happens with the rest of that property if we do this rezone.
It will, yes, subdivision would go back to the Planning Commission, and again, we would expect that Mr. Southwick would abstain from any decision-making for that subdivision.
Is there something in the rules and norms for the Planning Commission that would confirm that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Any other questions for Barton? Well, now we're going to let the petitioner talk. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. And I couldn't start off by, I needed to be just one of the people in the room to congratulate when she left.
When she left, yeah.
I thought that was very commendable of her service to the city of Ogden. My name is Gary Cannon. I live in Riverton, Utah, not Riverdale. And some people get that confused. But I'm proud to bring our second project to Ogden, and met with in a work session meeting a week or so ago, and addressed some of the questions and concerns that you may have had, and I'm prepared to answer any at this point. It will be a single-family subdivision. The last one we did was a townhome on Chester, and we felt like that was an addition to the neighborhood. One thing I did want to comment on, and I feel like a broken record, but we actually had a number of residents in the neighborhood come to the Planning Commission in favor of this project, and that's something you don't get very often on this side of the table. So we feel like it's going to be really good for the area, and the best is yet to come. So I would like to field any questions you may have.
Any questions for the petitioner? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we have elected to receive input on this item. So if any of you are here to speak to this item, if you could come to the podium now, give us your name and limit your comments to 3 minutes. That would be on this item only. Okay, doesn't look like anybody's rushing. Is there anybody online? Oh, there is. There's a couple. Okay, first one, we have Angel Castillo. Could you welcome to the meeting?
Thank you, Councilman Heyer. Angel Castillo, Ogden resident. First and foremost, there's whenever you comment on Zoom, there's
Angel,
horrible
we
feedback
can
that's
barely
happening.
hear you, Angel. Could you maybe speak up a little bit? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm having a problem because there's terrible feedback on the Zoom. I can hear myself speaking. It's really difficult. So we've got to get that fixed. It's been a challenge since it's been happening for months. Anyway, I'm a former planning commissioner, so I'm very aware of what our codes are, and I wholeheartedly support changing this to allow the petitioner to have smaller lots. And in this vein of why this is a good thing, I'd like you all to write down this address, 2445 Custer Avenue, 2445 Custer Avenue. It is just down the street from me, and it's adorable, and it's more of what we need. I mean, we need more of this particular type of development so that we have an array of properties to offer people to purchase. But at 2445 Custer, there are 9 houses on maybe order of what this builder is building on. It's from the pioneer days. It's fantastic. It's a great little community. And I encourage all of you as council members to take a drive by and look at it in person before we get to Wednesday, where we're going to be looking at the zoning for the overall city. So I'm fully in support of this project. We need to have different size options available, and we should allow developers to be able to go smaller with shorter setbacks if it's going to provide us more housing. Thank you.
Thanks, Angel. And we've got Julian Snyder is next.
Hi, yes, thank you. Julian Snyder, Ogden resident. I also wanted to voice support for this. I think it sounds great. I think there's probably a lot or many lots here in Ogden that are around this size. It's a decent size for a smaller family home, and it'd be great to add 8 or so, whatever the number was, single family homes for Ogden. That's it.
Thank you, Julian. And Linda's iPhone.
Good evening. As I've said in the past, I'm not in favor of any high density, but this is something that I think is perfect, that we could have people end up owning, which would actually end up just helping the citizens out as well as the city and make us more connected. When we own something, we have more of a vested interest most of the time. And I think anything that we can do to bring owner occupancy into the new development is probably the best way to go.
Linda, could you tell us your name?
Oh, yeah, Linda Sanchez.
Okay, thank you. Okay, there we go. Come on forward.
I wouldn't say I'm necessarily in favor or against, but I do live in the neighborhood, and I understand from the developer's point of view of adding 2 more. It's more profitable for them to subdivide it into smaller parcels. With me living there, I like having it be a larger lot. I don't think 2 more homes is gonna really help improve the affordability issue or the housing shortage that we have. They're building apartment places everywhere in high density areas. And so for me, it's more about a uniformity issue. I like having these larger lots where we're at, but if we try and make it smaller and make it something that it is not, I don't really like that as much. And I understand the reason and the intent and desire behind it, but I would like to definitely see it just stay as it is. It's an R110 and stay that way. And I'm sure you guys can figure out a way. I'm not, I don't know other particulars of the layout, how to make that work, but I'm sure there's a way to make that work. But I just think it gives a lot better continuity to the property area. I have a sister that lives in another area in Summit County, and they've done that where they have a bunch of larger lots and then they nestled right inside of a bunch of smaller lots in it. It's nice, but it does look a little bit more out of place. So that's how I feel on the issue. I'd like to just keep the status quo and keep it going.
Thanks, Tyler.
Laura Lewis, I have one question. Some of the more recent developments, they've required owner occupancy for 10 years. Does this one have that same requirement of owner occupancy? No. So investors could potentially buy these and take them off the market for, say, first-time home buyers or something like that.
Okay, we'll get that question answered for you. Thank you. Anyone else?
Roger White, and I live in the area too. I don't always think that taking and cramming more people and more houses, we're already crammed enough in our lives. I think it would be nice to have bigger lots for the area that it is. People like their space up there. They don't like all this cramming of more. You know, you go to work and you're crammed in with a bunch of people. You get on the bus and you're crammed in with people. You go to school and you're crammed in with people. It'd be nice to leave it alone. It's there for a reason, and let it be bigger lots.
Thanks, Roger.
Good evening. My name's Tel Wilkinson. I also live close to the lot there. Don't really do this city council stuff. I was here mostly just for the information. I got to see the plot. I understand I grew up in construction. My father was a general contractor. I'm a plumber by trade. It looks like, kind of on that south side, there's kind of that weird section where it would need to be an 8,000 square foot lot. And so I do understand the difficulties of trying to make that happen. I agree a lot with what they said too. Regardless of the lot size, most homes are going to have 2 cars at least. Most people are going to want a dog in the backyard, a shed in the backyard, and the smaller we make these, just the more cluttered everything looks, instead of giving us the space to settle down roots, to grow our families, and to enjoy the area that we already love, and making it look nice. There's other concerns I have too, as far as making those lots and making the houses street facing instead of putting up a big vinyl fence around the whole cul-de-sac, right? But that's for a different discussion. But I guess at this point I'm probably against it, but I do understand kind of the difficulties they have for doing it. It doesn't look great right now either as a dirt lot. I do think there needs to be more discussion on how to make it work. That's all.
Thanks, Mr. Wilkinson. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we got one more online. David Lawrence.
Thank you. I hope you can hear me okay. It sounds like there have been some audio issues tonight. I hadn't planned on saying anything until I learned of this proposed rezoning. And the first thing that has been springing to my mind more and more over these past few years as I see more about what's going on in the world around us is I really have to question the motivations behind this rezoning. And the obvious answer that I can come up with is that this is being done by the developer, who, interestingly, is part of the Planning Commission. So I hope there's no conflict of interest there. But it seems to me that this idea of, oh, we're going to reduce the lot, it gives the developer, 2 more homes that they can sell, but then what is the corresponding drop in house price for the person purchasing it? My guess would be is that that drop is going to be minimal, if any. And so we just end up putting more money in the pockets of developers, which concerns me. So I would certainly want to know, what kind of price change are we going to see for making these lots smaller? And if it really becomes a question of density, why not make something like a duplex, triplex, something like that, where, yes, it's no longer a single family home, but it's not like we don't have apartment buildings in the area. Since I do live in the area, I do know that there are apartment buildings, and that could be a much better solution to make something that is small, again, with those 10 units possibly, but it could allow us to have 1 or 2 buildings with more green space that, yes, it is shared, but it is nonetheless green space that becomes more beneficial to the individuals who live there, rather than just cramming a large modern house on an ever decreasing lot size. So those are my concerns, and I would hope that those would be addressed. Thank you.
Thanks, David. And we got another hand online, Heath Sato.
Hi, Heath Sato, Ogden resident. I just wanted to express my support for available in general. And whatever Brandon did, it's working. I'm not getting the echo, so thank you. That's it.
Okay. I think we've got, anybody else still want to speak to the council on this item? All right. I think maybe we might be appropriate if we let Barton and or the petitioner come and answer some of those questions that were asked.
We can tag team it.
Okay.
I can answer the question about the homeownership requirement. There have been some developments where we have required a conditional overlay that requires the homes to be owner occupied for a certain period of time. Those have typically been the townhome developments or the very small lot, 2,500 square foot lot sizes that we've done that. Those are the more likely to be renter occupied than these homes. This particular project does not come to you with a recommendation from staff or the Planning Commission to create such a requirement. Because they are pretty standard 8,000 square foot lots, it's much more likely that they are home owner occupied, so we're not recommending that, though you can certainly impose that. And Mr. Cannon can talk about his plans for that.
Thank you. I appreciate the comments from the neighbors, both here and online. We have no problem with entering into a development agreement stating that these will be only owner occupied. I don't know by law how long you can enforce the owner-occupied. Well, I don't even know what to call it, but if I will tell you this, from what we have found is from a water conservancy perspective, the larger lots are definitely in a situation now with water, but that's one of the fewer reasons for even going down this road. People naturally want larger lots, and a lot of these buyers may be coming from a first home, townhome. They may be coming from an apartment. They see that they want more ground. Well, what people don't understand is the cost and the maintenance to maintain a larger lot. People nowadays are spending more time at the park, in the mountains, on the lake. They're chasing their kids to St. George. They're chasing their grandkids. The maintenance costs and expense for having a larger lot has gotten to the point where that it's driving the lot size down. We're in a unique situation on this piece of property that we have to split zoning, which gave us the opportunity to put forth the extra to take it down to the 8,000 square foot lots. Also, from an economic standpoint, which I hate to bring in, I hate to stand here and talk about that. These finished houses will probably be in the neighborhood of 650,000 and up, which takes investors who want to rent them right out of the picture. It's not economically feasible to build a $650,000 home or buy one and then rent it out and get a return better than what you can have your money sitting in the bank for. I hope I have answered, and I'd be happy to, since there have been other questions, I'd be happy to answer any of those for the council.
I just had one. So when we looked at the presentation and the draw, I mean, the development as it was shown with the 3 on the north end, if we can, I don't know if we can bring that up. You know, just thinking about how it is split zone, and I don't know how much you're planning to hold yourself to, it's the next one, I think, or one more. There we go.
There we go, yeah.
To this idea, but in all reality, those top 3 are R10. I mean, it's an R3, or it's an R8 zone, but those top 3 really conform more to the R10, which is really what that northern section is, with the exception of the one home, and all the rest are that R8. But like, to me, that feels like a pretty nice middle ground option to offer the development to, even though it's all R8, you still have 3 homes that fit maybe more the style on the northern side of that neighborhood. So anyway, I don't know. Like I said, I don't, maybe that's the question to you, is how much is this map something that you're looking at in terms of developing according to something like this?
Very good question. And I can tell you that there was a tremendous amount of work put into getting it to this point before it even got to this point, and redesigned. I think we had 4 or 5 meetings prior to even coming up with this concept drawing. And we've had a couple meetings with Rocky Mountain Power and their easements, which we've worked through those. Having it been a former church site, you know, we've got some crazy easements that are running through strange places on the property that we've already, Rocky Mountain Power has agreed to let us abandon those and move them over to the required property lines. But this hits all the requirements. I don't even know if it's 2 additional lots. It might be 1 with how we've split this up, and we felt like it laid out quite nice.
Any more questions for Martin or the developer?
Yeah, I just to, maybe it hasn't caught my eye in the transmittal, but hearing that Mr. Southwick is a co-petitioner, I do not see him listed anywhere in the executive summary or the background as such. And so the transmittal does not have that information. And also looking at the number of votes, which was 6-0, it doesn't list Mr. Southwick as recusing himself from that vote. And there's 2, maybe my math might be off, but there's 2 planning commissioners that are not listed that maybe were not in attendance for that vote. So it's not a 6-0. right?
It'd be a 6-0, either 1 or 2 that weren't in attendance.
So there's 9 planning commissioners total.
There's 9. I think I don't know that we had 100% attendance that day. I don't recall. So
Okay, and then listed on here, it doesn't say that Mr. Southwick recused himself from this vote either.
okay. So yeah, he's not the applicant. He's just a partner with the applicant.
Okay,
So that's why it's not listed.
So and then earlier, but you'd stated that he was a co-petitioner?
Then I apologize for that.
Okay, so but that's just not noted anywhere in the transmittal that there is that conflict with him being a planning commissioner and being a remind me of the designation?
He's a partner with the applicant.
Okay,
He's
thank
not-
you.
Yes. And he did, and I can say he did recuse himself. We actually required that by the planning commission rules, that he remove himself from the room and not be in the room.
And that's my fault for not doing my due diligence and looking in the minutes from that meeting to make that assurance.
And I was an eyewitness to the Chester redevelopment, which were the same 2 partners while I was on the planning commission. Mr. Southwick not only recused himself from the vote on that, but removed himself from the room and didn't discuss anything about the vote that was before us with me in advance of the vote itself. So
Thank you for that
I
clarification.
can vouch for Rick on that.
Yeah, and I just, when we look at these transmittals and we know they're public information, and as our constituents are looking through these, there's just no record on this transmittal of any of that.
Yeah, and there'd be minutes to review for that particular meeting that would acknowledge Rick's departure from a vote and from the room, probably.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think also on page 4, it does show the commissioners who voted in favor. So it lists the 6 commissioners. Aberg, Ross, Sandow, Shell, Shinoda, and Williams.
Thank you, Councilmember, and that is what drew my attention to that vote. But I'm just curious why it doesn't reflect, and this is something that I can just meet with you separately on, but if there's a total of 9 commissioners, then we should have them listed, in my opinion, of if they were absent or if they recused themselves from the vote. So it shows more accurately that there's 9 commissioners and how those votes went for the public.
Okay, that might be something you might want to just take a note of, but I've got my time on the planning commission, they strive to have a diverse skill set on the planning commission. So, Mr. Southwick's in real estate, they've got architects, they've got, all kinds of stuff. So there's so it's not uncommon in the planning commission for somebody to recuse themselves because something's being talked about that they're working on.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate Mr. Southwick recusing himself from that conversation. My concern is that's just not reflected in the transmittal, but is reflected according to Vice Chair Graff in the minutes that I need to go back and review. So thank you.
Okay, all right.
I'd just like to say, as someone who owned a home actually on one of the previous slides there on the corner of Kingston and Kingston Circle, I'm very familiar with the neighborhood. And I did see some of my neighbors on the transmittal who were in favor of this project that maybe weren't here speaking tonight, but I know them personally, know them well, and I know the neighborhood well. And I think this will be a good addition to the neighborhood. My kids used to ride their bikes on that church parking lot, and I think the neighborhood will look forward to having more neighbors and having the ability to have another cul-de-sac in there where they can enjoy the things that my kids got to enjoy when they were there. So instead of a dirt lot that's there now. So.
All right.
Chair?
Sure, yes.
Just one other comment. I just think this picture that you have currently displayed, Barton, is particularly beneficial. And I don't know if this is the exact format. You stated that it's conceptual, which is okay. But I think this is very important for the community to see that, 11,000 square foot parcels stays within what you would think would be beneficial for that community. It's congruent with what some of the other homes are. And to me, I don't live very far away also from this area. And to me, I think this is a welcome development in that community because they've been looking at a vacant lot for several years now. And so I'm excited about this to come into our neighborhood and into our community. It's nice, and I commend you that you have sought out single-family homes to be built in Ogden again, and just commend you for taking the carrying the torch and doing something that our community stands in need of. So thanks very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And just one more thing, I did want to thank people from the neighborhood who came. You know, we taking that input in and balancing it with the others who spoke at the Planning Commission meeting and a personal experience from the neighborhood. But thanks for coming out and participating in the process. Really appreciate that.
So in addition, if I may, single-family homes bring not just people or houses, they bring people, and with them maybe children that can populate our schools. And currently this piece of ground is generating no tax support to Ogden City, but the homes that will be built on this will. And that lessens the burden on all of us that pay property taxes in the city to add more homes to our community. Speaking to one of the online comments that were made, I'm grateful for a developer. The house that I live in was, the ground on it was created by a developer. And I'm glad that the developer made a profit so they could go on and develop ground for my neighbor to build on. Just like the grocery store. If the grocery store doesn't make a profit, I don't get to go shop there when they're out of business because they didn't make a profit. So I want to applaud you for taking a risk, investing your time and your treasure in creating something for Ogden. Godspeed to y'all.
I was just going to make the same comment about this particular, plan view. And, corner lots, which there are those three in an R110, have to be 11,000 square feet, and that's what those are. And the boundary line that goes through there, looks like there's really only two lots that this rezone is even affecting, if you use this same drawing. But man, I tell you what, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I don't know how you do it any different and get more lots. So, 8,000 square foot, 9,000 square feet. I mean, you've done your best to make that work. I like Vice Chair Graff, really appreciate your efforts and your desire to develop in Ogden. I don't know what the current stats are over the last year or two, but the residential units that there's probably thousands of residential units that have been approved for multifamily housing, but probably less than 100 in single family. So I think the single family product is drastically needed in Ogden, and I appreciate you taking care to do this. And I like you. I don't think it's a high risk of somebody buying it up to try to rent it. So good luck with you on this project. So, but we haven't approved it yet, so I guess I shouldn't say that yet.
I wanted to add one other comment, if I may. This property was on the market for about 2 years. And based on the economics of property values going up and us feeling like we wanted to take the risk and go forward with this, I'm also on 4 state water boards, and we remove a lot of trees off of the canal. We removed 2 trees 2 weeks ago. 2 trees. These trees were over 100 years old. It was $24,000 to remove 2 trees on a canal bank. I mean, these are big trees, and when trees get big and old like that, they die. And then the risk of them falling on a home or on the road or injuring somebody, heaven help us. It's just, this is an expensive endeavor, and we appreciate your cooperation. We're going to do a great job, and you're going to be proud of it when it's done. And thank you for the confidence.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Cannon. Thank you, Mr. Brierley. Okay.
Can I say one more thing?
Actually, no. You've had your time. I'm sorry. That's the way our rules work. So there will be public comment at the end. You can come up again then. So is there any discussion prior to a motion? Okay, I'll look for a motion.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we pass proposed ordinance 2026-1.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Lindell, seconded by Vice Chair Graff, to adopt ordinance 2026-1. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Lopez. Councilmember Lundell.
Yes.
Councilmember Myers.
Aye.
Councilmember Ritchie.
Aye.
Councilmember Washington.
Aye.
Vice Chair Graff.
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
Aye, that's unanimous. That passes. Good luck for your project. Look forward to seeing that soon. Okay, next item on our agenda is public comment. This is an opportunity to address the council regarding your concerns or ideas on any topic. Please come to the front, give us your name, and limit your comments to 3 minutes, please.
Hello, my name is Emily Fox. I wanted to make a comment about the resolution that was tabled today, which I do feel like that was a smart choice on the part given new developments. But the comment I wanted to make was the proposed bill that has initiated that feels like a kind of overstep of the state government. And of course, I will be sending my feedback to my legislators as well on the bill. But I actually took time to read the state constitution on the matter because it does feel like that it oversteps the Constitution Article 11, Local Government, Section 5, that each city forming its charter under this section shall have and is hereby granted the authority to exercise all powers relating to municipal affairs and to adopt and enforce within its limits local police, sanitary, and similar regulations not in conflict with the general law. And then all of a sudden that there's now a general law that's being proposed that seems to muddy the line between federal and state practice, but also I think infringes the city's right to choose how you spend your tax money collected by us residents here. And so I object to the idea, and I hope that the cities will also object to the idea that the state is trying to tell them how to spend their resources in regards to federal stuff. So, thank you.
Thanks, Emily. Anyone else in the chambers? Okay, we've got a couple of hands online. Oh, here we go. All right.
Kim Haslam. I'm here as the proud daughter of a Vietnamese refugee who lived through 20 years of the Vietnam War and came to America to escape the violence that defined her entire childhood. She's been through so much. She's the most courageous person I know. And now she's scared living in this country, and I'm scared for her. I have weekly conversations with her about how to stay safe. I've had to talk with her about how even though she's a citizen, she should carry her passport and have my phone number memorized in case she's ever detained. This is the reality for many families in this country, having to make plans for what to do if a loved one is detained. It has become apparent that we are no longer living in a country where due process feels guaranteed for everyone. I've seen the first steps that council members Lundell and Washington have taken to try to provide reassurance and some measure of comfort to people in this city. I also know that Councilmember Lopez is directly involved in supporting vulnerable communities. Council members Myers, Graff, Heyer, and Ritchie, I would like to know what actions you are taking to protect and provide reassurance to the vulnerable members of our community.
Thanks, Kim. Anyone else in the chambers? Okay, we got a couple hands online. Heath Sato.
Hey, I just wanted to add a little tag to the end of that discussion about the rezoning. Our single family home is in an old section of town, and we've got a 6,100 square foot lot, and we've got a 2,000 square foot home. We've got a patio area, we've got garden areas, and we've still got tons of room for the dogs to run around. So I don't think that squishing down to 9,000 square foot lots is like turning us into some tiny lot area. So just wanted to add that thought in. Some of us are good with smaller lots. Thanks.
Thanks, Heath. And Angel Castillo?
Thank you, Chair Heyer. Angel Castillo, Ogden resident. I really appreciate that Council members Washington and Lindell decided to pull back on what they put forward, but I firmly believe that we've got bigger problems that we have to look at, because this is an absolute, what the bill is going to do is, as one of the other people pointed out, is against the state constitution. And it's a government overreach. And it's telling us how to run our city. And Utah's a property rights state. So I'm really kind of shocked that this is coming out. But I've emailed all of the council to the general email and individually. There's bunch of different ways that you can pivot on this. And basically what we're looking for is making sure that our constitutional freedoms are not infringed upon. And it hurts my heart that our portions of our immigrant community are scared. And that's a very genuine and real emotion. And it's a hard one because historically, government has not been very good to a lot of immigrants. And I just want everybody to remember how Utah was formed. It was a group of people who were exercising their constitutional right to practice their religion. And they had to leave their home and travel across the United States to find a place. And this is the place. And we should be honoring all the people that came before us practicing constitutional rights. And it is clear and it is documented that there is a unit of the branch of the federal government that is infringing upon people's constitutional rights. And that should concern everyone, because this is not just folks who don't have the appropriate paperwork for being here. We're talking about students. We're talking about people with visas. We're talking about people who have asylum. There's people who are born here. As a city, we owe it to make sure that our citizens are protected and our rights aren't infringed upon. So I urge you to continue this discussion and figure out where we need to go that's going to show the city and our residents that you're going to stand for them and you're going to protect their constitutional rights without violating state laws. Thank you.
Thanks, Angel. We have Linda's iPhone.
Linda Sanchez. As this day and age, we kind of do everything by our phones. I just wanted to report. I tried to log into the transparency module for the portal, and it does not look like using it from your phone, or maybe from my phone, or maybe I'm just not using it correctly. I cannot access a lot of those data points. I have not had a chance to have like a desktop to confirm that. I did ask somebody to try to open it, and they said they could not open it from a desktop. Now, I didn't see that visibly myself, but I was really excited to actually see what was in there. And I'm glad it's up, but if there's any way that we can make sure that it's available via our phone or something like that, so that people that are on the go can make sure that we stay informed with what's going on. And I do want to say thank you for giving us the option to do Zoom on city council meetings so that we can also participate in family activities and whatnot. Anyways, I yield back.
Thanks, Linda. And we have Teresa's iPhone.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for taking my call and allowing me the opportunity to Zoom this meeting. I have a couple of takeaways from what I've heard
Tell us your name, Teresa.
discussed in this meeting. Hello?
Tell us your name, Teresa.
Oh, Teresa Bramwell. Thank you. So the one thing that really alarmed me and has alarmed me very much over the past 10 years that Councilmember Heyer pointed out is that we've had thousands and thousands of rental apartments built in the city of Ogden in the past 10 years. Thousands upon thousands of them, and less than 100 single-family homes. I was born and raised in Ogden City, and I have been in Ogden City my entire life, either as a resident or a property owner. And I have seen a dramatic, absolutely dramatic shift in the population of Ogden because of the amount of rentals that have been built within the city of Ogden. I think everybody should be alarmed about it. And I'm happy to see that there are some single-family homes that are coming online and that developers are willing to look at that product in Ogden City. I specifically think we need a lot more single-family homes in my neighborhood in East Central that can be purchased by owner-occupants because the rental situation has made living there or owning property there an absolute nightmare. I cannot describe how horrific my experience has been in Ogden City of being a crime victim hundreds and hundreds of times. And I feel like I have called the police, probably called 911 at least 200 times. I don't know how many people have called 911 200 times, but that's traumatic. And the other thing I wanted to mention just about the constitutional rights is, you know, I live in Salt Lake now, and I'm kind of by Fort Douglas. And I know when Utah was not a state and it was filled with Mormons that came here to practice their religion, Fort Douglas pointed their cannons at the Salt Lake City Temple and said, you either conform with the laws of the United States or we will blow your temple to smithereens. Thank you.
Thanks, Teresa. Okay, I don't see any more online. Just going to one last call for those in the chamber that'd like to speak. Okay. Comments from the administration?
I'd just like to comment back to Linda Sanchez that we are still making some adjustments to the RDA transparency dashboard. And so I don't believe that's fully available online at this point, but I'll also make sure that we look to look at cell phone compatibility, because I know that can be a little different from desktop access. So we'll continue to work on that.
Okay.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, and council members? Any comments from council members?
Sure, I would
Councilmember
just,
Washington, go ahead.
Thank you, Chair. I would just like to, as I said in the work session, just extend my appreciation for council and leadership extending, tabling this proposed joint resolution affirming community trust through public safety until March 3rd. And also now we as a collective, as a community, and as a council, we have the resolution in front of us to review, to ask questions, to do more research. So I invite us to lead with curiosity, but also something that I'm so proud of and humbled by in this process is how the community has upheld each other, even with opposing views, affirming views of this joint resolution. It's been an incredible process to witness everyone upholding the shared lived experience to create a stronger community. And just for a timeline update, myself and Council Member Lundell, we did hold a community conversation about the proposed joint resolution just this Sunday. That was February 15th at the Weber County Library. It was open to the public, where we did talk about the resolution and present the resolution. And within that time frame, we had reached out to the previous week to administration to have a meeting, myself with Councilmember Lundell and the mayor and his administration, to speak about the resolution. And the mayor is in Europe, so that was tabled. And then we've also put in a request to speak with Community Engagement Director Luis Lopez and Police Chief Subi. And those conversations, those meetings have been asked and tabled till the mayor gets back. And so we will continue to request to have those meetings as this resolution is tabled until March 3rd.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'd like, Chair, if I could.
Sure.
Thank you for giving us that timeline, Council Member Washington. And I would just like to read from just one line from the bill that caused us to postpone this. It's House Bill 571, and line 64 states that the bill requires a state or local government agency to use the agency's best efforts to support the enforcement of federal immigration law. Given how we have seen with our own eyes how the enforcement of federal immigration law has played out across the country and even in areas in our own state, our backyard, I think that clause should give lots of people pause and concern about not just, in this case, state overreaching municipal, but federal overreach on state level here as well. So I think as a municipal body, myself in particular am concerned about the overreach in that area, and we made the decision that, and I appreciate the council backing us in that decision, to pause on our discussion to see how this bill and some of those particular sections play out.
Thank you. Any other council comments? Okay, the next item on our agenda is consideration of adjourning into a closed session. Do I have a motion?
Chair, I'd make the motion that we adjourn into closed session.
A second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Ritchie, seconded by Councilmember Washington to adjourn into closed session. This is a roll call vote.
Councilmember Lundell.
Yes.
Councilmember Myers.
Aye.
Councilmember Ritchie.
Aye.
Councilmember Washington.
Aye.
Councilmember Lopez.
Aye.
Vice Chair Graff.
Aye.
Chair Heyer.
Aye. That passes. We will move into a closed session. We will adjourn this meeting at the end of that session, so this will be the last you'll see us here. We thank you for coming and giving us your input, and we wish you the very best of the rest of a good day.